I'm just stoked with the news today. Good morning, everyone. Can I just say that I'm stoked with the news today? It is, oh my God, the news are just wonderful today. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, there is some shady news and there is some unpleasant news, but I am just stoked with the news today. And I'm going to say that like 17 times so that it can spread around, hopefully. But before we do that, good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlights. I'm sorry, I'm just giddy. There are so many wonderful bits of news here that I can't contain myself. I'm just stoked. But for those of you that don't know, other than me being stoked, this is Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together with news from our city, our state, and our country, with comments from you, with oh my God. Oh, great comments. I can't wait to get to the comments. With great comments from you guys, with questions and all kinds of information and things that we can put to good use to create meaningful connections here in our city as a community of English-speaking locals. That's what we do. Connections among ourselves, connections with local businesses, local projects, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. And I hope you're happy to be here too. It is Wednesday, January 26th. And as always, we welcome those that join us for the first time. And we can give you a proper welcome if you write the word new in your comment. And if you have something truly important that you want to bring up, add a capital letter Q at the beginning so that we can look for it during the second half of the broadcast. So what can we look forward to today? News about Airbnb. We have news about our local politicians still playing mind games with, opposing parties. We have good news, and we have questionably good news from El Salado, the local estuary, but we also have good news from them. I ran into Gina Hendricks on the street yesterday as she was preparing her new locale for Whiskey Kitchen. So she gave me all the tea, and I am just itching to share the tea with you. And I have unexpected amazing good news from Guadalajara's cultural scene. It seems like somebody stuck something up the cultural butt in our capital city when all of a sudden there's all kinds of good news coming from over there and shameless excuses to go visit. So this is what we have to look forward today. Can you see I'm happy? Well, if you can't, let's get through the news and then we'll get to your your comments. Okay, here we go. For starters, the American company Airbnb, you know about Airbnb, and the state of Jalisco have signed an agreement that will result in Airbnb property owners having to pay property tax starting in the month of February. This tax, which is actually lodging tax, which hotels have been paying all along, will be used to promote our state, to do promotional tourism of the state of Jalisco. Both entities, that is Airbnb and the state government, will work jointly in specific tourism promotion efforts, and they will rely on statistics made available by Airbnb on an ongoing basis. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you own an Airbnb property, you will start having to pay taxes, state taxes, Mexican taxes. If you don't, you won't be able to, I imagine, you won't be able to rent your property. It also means that for hotel owners that have grumbled for many years, and rightly so, about the fact that Airbnb is not contributing to the local economy as in the same way that hotels do, well, this has changed or is about to change. Obviously, we don't own Airbnb property, so we don't have all the details. So my suggestion would be, if you have an Airbnb property or several and you are concerned about this or want to learn more information, just get in touch directly with Airbnb. Now, yesterday we talked briefly about all the woes that are going on between two political parties, both the running political party and the Partido Verde or Green Ecology Party, which opposes our current government. Now we learned that while the Partido Verde was conducting a breakfast meeting at a restaurant in Olas Altas, authorities from Reglamentos happened to show up at the restaurant at the same time to conduct an inspection or deliver paperwork or God knows what. And this was happening right as the opposing party was having a meeting. Is this a coincidence or is it not? Well, according to party state leader Luis Munguia, it probably is not a coincidence. Luis Munguia has sent a very strong message to our mayor to stop playing revenge games or picking, or just, doing political games among parties. As we know, he is part of the city council, Luis Munguia is, so that must make for very interesting regular meetings with our current government. Nothing much that we can do about this, but I just wanted to let you know, as yesterday, that unfortunately all this squabble going on between the different political parties one way or another holds the progress back as it relates to our city moving forward with assorted projects, or so I think. I could be wrong, but how unfortunate it is that you're trying to have a business meeting and all of a sudden your restaurant gets busted. Now, moving on to a different topic, authorities are asking the city's cycling community not to speed as much as some cyclists do as they travel through the Malecón. This is as a result of a not so pretty accident that took place a couple of days ago and that was captured on video, where a cyclist is clearly seen running over a pedestrian who suffered some minor injuries, nothing too serious, fortunately. But it's one of those things in which you cannot point fingers at one person or another. Well, the cyclist should probably not have been going so fast. And but then again, we can see on the video that he was going through the cyclist lane, although part of the problem is also that some tourists and local pedestrians don't seem to realize that there is a cycling lane along the Malecón. So when the bicycle rider was speeding and there were some tourists just nonchalantly walking along the cycling lane, he had to take a detour, and that's where he unfortunately ran into another pedestrian. So if you cycle the Malecón, just go slowly, enjoy the view, it's pretty. Moving right along, just a few days ago we mentioned that the new pavement along Las Flores Avenue was almost finished, and unfortunately, apparently that is how it will remain, almost finished, as there doesn't seem to be any budget available to conclude the work, and this has of course left some local residents rather disappointed, and rightly so. If you ask me about budgets running in and out, I honestly don't understand how these things happen, because there seems to be money to spend on other things, and to clearly understand why these decisions are made to not conclude public works is a major mystery to me. So just know that if you're going along Avenida Las Flores, if you're heading to the convention center, it may be very pretty for a while, but once you get to the happy ending may not be all that happy. The happy ending may not be all that happy. I don't know what's going through my head today. Elsewhere in the city, authorities at the El Salado estuary have also reported that the state government has not delivered fully on their promise when it comes to the project of rehabilitating this important local feature. For those of you that don't know, we have an urban estuary here in the city, and it's called El Salado, and you used to be able to go and explore it. They had a tour, but this tour has been interrupted because the whole facility needs to be rebuilt. Presently, according to Director Jaime Torres, the work is only at 45% completion, and the next phase will not be started until the month of March. The estuary is closed to the public, but they are hoping to be able to reopen for Semana Santa. We have some better news about the estuary right after the weather, so let's check and see what is going on with the weather. That cloud looks like a toddler drowning a rubber ducky. Whatever. Our current temperature right now is 23 degrees. It feels like 25. We have a 60% of humidity in the air right now, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 74 degrees. Our weather forecast for today, mostly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 28, low temperature of 18. Tomorrow, Thursday, it will be a partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 28, low temperature of 18. And Friday, high temperature of 29, low temperature of 18. Not bad at all. And we continue with better news with El Salado, because part of their upgrading or their rehabilitation or their improvement of their facilities, we learned that it has been announced that a 6-meter-long bronze sculpture of a crocodile will be installed at the entrance of the estuary and hopefully inaugurated on March 15. The sculpture will be created by Octavio Gonzalez, who we know because he was the creator of the large whale sculpture at the entrance of Marina Vallarta. A limited number of miniature reproductions of this new crocodile sculpture will also be founded and sold to help raise funds for the project. And now I have a personal story to share. Yesterday, after our broadcast, I quickly dashed outside to find nourishment because I didn't have any food in the house, and I could have chosen to walk through the back road, but I figured I'm going to walk right past the new Whiskey Kitchen to see what is going on there and whether they have done any improvement. And quite funny, because I was thinking to myself, I wonder what Gina is going to do about music and this, that, and the other. And wouldn't you know it, there she was just down the street conducting business with one of the local shops. And it was great to run into her. And she told me all the tea about her new restaurant. And now I'm going to share what I know, and I'm going to share some answers to some questions that have been posted here. For starters, as you know, Gina is running a restaurant for some nice folks that are that are holding onto the lease at the Conchas Chinas location. That is the Whiskey Kitchen that we all know and love. When Gina found herself an opportunity to expand, she consulted with them and she said to them, look, guys, this is great, but I want to have my own thing as well. Can I expand and start a lease under my own name? And they said, by all means, go ahead. So for those that were asking, is the original Whiskey Kitchen location remaining? The answer is yes. But aside from it, Gina will have this new location on Francisco Villa, which will be under her name. And she's excited about that. And the guys that have the lease at the other location are also excited. Everybody's happy. So that takes care of that one. The location that is going to open during the month of February here around the corner from my house, dangerously close, and dangerously I mean in a good way, will be larger. It will also have an outdoor space for barbecuing. And it will indeed have a small stage. So when you consider the fact that the business that is there is actually a ginormous hardware store, and the whole property is owned by a single family, there are only a couple of other businesses on the block, and they are daytime businesses. So Gina should have absolutely no problem having, music that is fairly loud, not necessarily, crazy loud, but she'll be able to have live music during the evenings. So she's excited. She's nervous. I told her, we have a huge community of restaurant foodies over here. I told her all about beer, Versailles for foodies. She didn't know our map, so she is excited about that. And if all goes well, we may even have a special pre-opening coffee and headlines event so that we can sample the goodies before the public gets a chance to do that. So I'm excited. I am giddy. As you know, we've talked shamelessly about, the wonderful food creations at Whiskey Kitchen. So we are excited to learn about this. moving right along with our cultural stuff. All of a sudden, I seem to be getting a lot of good news from cultural institutions in the city of Guadalajara. And yesterday, I found out that the famous Cabañas Museum has announced a series of programs for this year. And they have also revamped their website. They have redesigned it, and it is bilingual. And I'm showing it here so you can explore a little bit of this phenomenal museum in Guadalajara in case you want to find out what they're doing. And then, oh my goodness, then I find out that the Jalisco Philharmonic is getting a new director. Which I didn't know anything about. The current director, which I have respected very much, Jesus Medina, is stepping down, and instead, director Jose Luis Castillo, he's a man from Spain that has made a career in Mexico with other orchestras, is now effectively the new director at the Jalisco Philharmonic. I did some research, and of course, Mateo Schubring, who's a regular viewer from Mexico City, a musician, a regular Coffee and Headlines cluster member, contacted me this morning to tell me some of the tea about the new director. The new director has made a career out of championing works from the 20th century. So this is bound to ruffle some traditional feathers in the city of Guadalajara, where they love their Brahms and they love their Schubert and they love their classics, their Beethoven and so forth. I love my classics too, but I also love learning about new works, and there are some amazing works that were composed during the 20th century that are worthy of appreciation. So I went to look at the season. The first season for the orchestra under the new conductor has been announced, and the season, well, there's this special concert that is going to take place this Sunday, and it's all light works, but the season officially begins on February the 17th, and indeed, it is a combination of new works and classics, and I am particularly stoked by the second program, which is going to be performed on Thursday, 24th of February, and then on the Sunday matinee on the 27th, because part of this program includes one of my bucket list orchestra works, and that will be Maurice Ravel's suite, Mother Goose Suite, which is one of my favorite works by this French composer. For starters, my classical bucket list, if you care to know, it includes works that I know and love, but that I have never had a chance to listen to performed live. And I am sure that I've never heard Mother Goose Suite performed live. It was originally written by or composed by Ravel as a 5-movement piano duet in 1910. And he orchestrated the work the following year in 1911. Ravel originally wrote the work as a piano duet for the Godebsky children, Mimi and Jean. They were ages 6 and 7. So that gives you a sense as to the technical challenge of the piano work. It is very simple technically, but it is fascinatingly intricate when it comes to it being, just explored musically by piano players. And even though it was written for children, pianists play this work quite frequently. And the work, as I said, was orchestrated by Ravel, and it is performed in the orchestra version quite frequently as well. The fifth movement called the Fairy Garden is 3 minutes of musical bliss. Just 3 minutes. So I'm going to invite you to take 3 minutes of your time today, if you care to listen to some of the most beautiful orchestra music ever composed in the 20th century. And this particular video that I'm going to show you is it's very sad and moving, because this is Gustavo Dudamel conducting the LA Philharmonic, and he is seen in the video, as you will see if you care to watch it, walking towards the stage at the Hollywood Bowl, which is completely empty. And he conducts this 3-minute work, and then it's over, and then you get these beautiful shots of the Hollywood Bowl being completely empty. So you think about it being empty, and the fact that he was conducting the fairy garden, and the pandemic, and the whole thing, just you just have to watch it. My best wish for you is that you add this music to your ears sometime today, and hopefully it'll touch you as much as it touches me. But first, let us take a look at your comment. And now you see why I'm just so fucking happy about everything. This is a concert that I'm definitely going to go to Guadalajara, come rain or come shine. This will take place just like 3 or 4 days after I get a clean bill of health from my shoulder. So I am giddy. I am shamelessly giddy, and it's not even funny. Good morning to everyone that says good morning. Good morning to new air conditioning units. I love it. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, it is definitely a beautiful hump day. Maverick is new to the program. Well, not so new, as we have been watching for over a year now. Well, Maverick, it's great to see you. Those are lovely beers in your photograph. I wish I'd had a beer right now, because it's feeling a little like having a beer, although I still have my coffee to enjoy. Anyway, welcome to joining us live. It's much appreciated. Oh, what a great place to be, El Dorado Beach Club. Get your feet in the sand, Glee. Do that for me. Please. Let's see what else we have. Raymond went to La Colonia Burgers. That's wonderful. Again, a great place that I love. And I love getting all your reports, your food reports, because it makes me hungry. It makes me want to go back to some of these places. Claude says, damn it, I thought it was Tuesday. Welcome to my world. Alan keeps counting, and we keep counting with you. You want whatever I'm having in my coffee? Well, tell your speaker, your smart speaker, to play the Mother Goose suite, and you'll know why I'm so giddy today. Actually, I'm going to go give you a hug in a little while, Michal, if you allow me. Let's see. Logan says, Cyclists speeding down the Malecón. Oh my, am I steering out some more controversy? Well, it depends on who you're chasing or who you're being chased by, my dear. It's just a matter of how fast you go and how mindful you are of the people that are being part of your obstacle course. Let's see what else we have. Ryan offers some Airbnb clarity. Thank you very much. Airbnb will report the tax directly to the state government. Well, either way, it's good to know that they're getting along. Thank you very much for that addition. The bike lane is painted. I love the fact that you put capital is painted, and I'm inclined to say, well, Javier, both pedestrians and cyclists capital do, have eyes to look at the capital is painted lane. No further comment. The cycle lanes are not exclusive throughways with four exclamation marks. My goodness. Well, I kind of disagree, because it really depends, and maybe that's part of the problem, Liz. Cycle lanes on the street, at least here in Puerto Vallarta, are exclusive. And that has been a continuous problem because cars tend to invade them. On the Malecón, it's a matter of opinion. There are those that think, well, tourism rules in the city, so everybody should abide by that, even cyclists. And of course, the cycling community will argue, well, wait a second, if they painted us a bicycle lane, why can people not respect it? Well, it's a cultural issue, and it's a complicated one, but hopefully these kinds of incidents will move us in the right direction. And the right direction, in my opinion, is everybody having a better understanding that both pedestrians and cyclists need a place to go. La 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 da 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 da. Lots of commentary about pedestrians. I'm glad to spark a discussion here. Thank you very much. Janet. Oh, Janet had Siam and Ernesto's last night both for takeout. I understand. Siam and Ernesto's last night for dinner, both excellent. That's wonderful. Juan Ignacio asks, when are they removing what I have in my arm? Hopefully around February 20th, which is when I have my follow-up appointment and x-ray. So it'll be just in time to go to Guadalajara and behave responsibly. But think about it. If we go to Guadalajara to the symphony, do you know what amazing walking tours I'm going to come back with? I'm excited. Let's see what else we have. Ronald says, great news on Whiskey Kitchen. Yay. Julie says the same thing. Liz says, bravo, Gina. Any estimate on the opening? Well, Gina said around the 20th of February. You know how those dates come and go. So hopefully by the end of next month, we will have a brand new Whiskey Kitchen. And if all goes well, we'll have a nice little Coffee and Headlines get together there. Yay. And yes, Raymond, it's right around the corner from his bakery. So there you go. You can go out for Whiskey Kitchen, and then you can go and get some lovely bread from our very own panadero. Where is our panadero? There is our panadero.
El panadero con el pan. El panadero con el pan. El panadero.
There you go. That was very loud. I'm sorry. Let's see what else we have. Da, 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 da. Any thoughts of acquiring a Mexican hand-tooled leather arm sling? None. I don't even know where I could find one of those, and I certainly wouldn't want to need one for a long time. I keep my fingers crossed. Da, 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 da. Let's see. More commentary about cycling. Who has the best warm churros? Asks Lori. What a great question. Where have I had good warm churros? You know, when I go to the Pitillal Plaza, or sometimes when I go to the street vendors along the Malecón, especially in the new section, well, not new, but the section between the Los Arcos and the Rio Cuale pedestrian bridge, I've seen good churros there. So that might be a place to go. If anybody else has other comments, they are most welcome. Another YouTuber that has joined us live from Canada. Thank you very much for joining us. And a nice hello to all the people that join us on YouTube. Thank you for those thumbs up. I find that people frequently wander in the cycling lane when there is plenty of room on the Malecón. What can I tell you? I'm a cyclist, so I keep my eyes open for where I'm going, but that's just because of my own cyclist mindfulness. Again, Mexico cycling, it's a meeting of minds that is constantly evolving in different locations. In Guadalajara, for example, it is a very sophisticated thing. There's bicycle paths everywhere. There are days on Sundays, many major streets get closed for bicyclists to enjoy. There's a whole community. Puerto Vallarta, we have much to learn. Let's see what else. Question from Javier, do you drive to Guadalajara or bus it or fly? Usually, I either go with friends if somebody is happening to drive, Javier. I also usually, before pandemic, have taken the ETN bus, which is very, very comfortable. I have been reluctant to take the bus since the pandemic started, but I am comfortable enough to ride on the bus these days. Would I fly? Probably not, because it's expensive. But then again, sometimes you can get a good deal if you look ahead of time. This time around, if I don't find other people that are going to Guadalajara to see the concert, I will probably just take the ETN bus. Probably leaving Saturday morning, which means that Saturday I would probably pre-record our broadcast, spend the day doing walking tours and buying yarn, and then going to the matinee on Sunday, staying at a hotel, obviously, and then coming back Sunday afternoon right after the concert. That's my wishful think for myself. My wishful thinking. Let's see what else we have. Da 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 da. Will you have location of Whiskey Kitchen on my map? Absolutely. Well, it's not my map. It's actually your map. It's everyone's map. Yes, we will most definitely put Whiskey Kitchen on the map the moment we take a photograph of the new facade, because what we usually do for the Versalles for Foodies map inclusions is we put a photograph of the restaurant facade for easy identification. Let's see what else we have. Now that you're down to one arm, well, first of all, I'm not down to one arm. I'm hoping that this arm will come back. Any thoughts on getting a quesadilla maker, says Mark Jennings. Still, no. And these days, because I'm not choosing to wash many dishes, I can order quesadillas from elsewhere. In fact, yesterday I went to one of the local shops and I bought a bunch of environmentally friendly cups, soup cups, so that I can pour some of the food that I've been buying to go into them, and that way I don't have to wash them afterwards. Let's see what else we have. Oh, what a great suggestion. Of course, La Romantica Churros and Café Bar. I totally forgot about that. We have La Romantica here in Fluvial. That is a great place for churros. Although Julie seems to side with me, talking about the Pitillal corner of the plaza. That's where I usually get them. But Logan's recommendation for La Romantica is fantastic. Another place that serves good churros is La Romantica's sibling restaurant, which is Tacos Revolucion on Olas Altas Street. They share the churros in both menus, so that would be a great place to not only enjoy awesome tacos, but also, whoa, my goodness, big slam. We've been slammed with big junk mail, so we're going to report that in a second. Let's see. I think we're done. When is the churros person usually there? Bronica, the Pitillal churros are usually available during the evening. That's when you want to go looking for them. So that is pretty much the end of our broadcast. We've made it this far, and I'm excited. I'm totally giddy. I'm going to start looking at logistics to go to Guadalajara to a concert now. But first, we'll put together your show notes, of course. And again, take a listen to that Fairy Garden piece. Let me know what you think. It's funny because one of my reactions to the piece nowadays, well, I mean, I react differently because I'm musically trained. I can't help it. But if I was not a musician, I would think, wow, this sounds like film music. But when it was composed, film music didn't even exist. So listen to the Fairy Garden, and I'll remember to ask you what you thought about it tomorrow if you join us. Between now and then, stay happy, stay kind, stay well-fed, and stay in touch. Have an awesome day.